If you're shopping for a home in Southwest Florida right now, you probably noticed something interesting. Every time you drive down a main road, there's a new community being carved out of what used to be open land. Meanwhile, resale homes in established neighborhoods are sitting on the market longer than they did 2 years ago, and sellers are actually negotiating again. So here's a question that's probably been keeping you up at night. Which one makes more sense for your money in 2025? Now, before I tell you which one I think wins, I want to walk you through both sides of this equation. And honestly, because the right answer really does depend on what matters most to you. We're going to start with new construction, look at what makes it appealing, and where it might disappoint you. Then we'll do the same thing with resale homes. Let's talk newer construction first, because there's a reason these communities are selling so well, even with higher price tags. The most obvious benefit is customization. When you buy new, you're not inheriting someone else's design choices. You get to walk into a design center and pick your flooring, your cabinet colors, your countertop materials, and sometimes even adjust the floor plan itself before you frame the walls. That's incredibly powerful if you have specific needs or tastes. Think about it this way. If you always wanted a home office with built-in shelving, or you need an extra large kitchen island because you love to cook, or you want luxury vinyl plank instead of carpet in the bedrooms, you can make these decisions up front. You're not paying someone else to renovate afterwards, and you're not compromising on the things that matter to you daily. The second big advantage is energy efficiency. Homes built in 2024 and 2025 are being constructed to much stricter building codes than homes that were built even 10 years ago. That means better insulation, more efficient air conditioning systems, impact-resistant windows that are standard in most new Southwest Florida communities, and often solar-ready electric panels. In a place like Southwest Florida, where your AC runs 9 months out of the year, that efficiency translates directly into lower electric bills. We're talking about potential savings of $50 to $100 a month compared to an older home of the same size. And then there's the warranty. Most builders in Southwest Florida offer a 1-year comprehensive warranty covering everything from appliances to structural elements, plus a 10-year structural warranty that protects you against major defects. If your water heater fails in month 8, you're not paying for it. If you notice a crack in your foundation within that first decade, the builder is responsible. That peace of mind is generally valuable, especially if you're a first-time homebuyer who doesn't have a lot of experience with home maintenance or a big emergency fund set aside for repairs. But here's where we need to pump the brakes a bit, because new construction isn't all sunshine and custom backslashes. The first and most frustrating drawback is time. When you sign a contract for new construction in Southwest Florida right now, you're typically looking at 6 to 12 months before you can actually move in. And honestly, delays are common. Supply chain issues have gotten better since 2022, but they haven't disappeared. Weather delays during hurricane season can push your closing date back. Permitting can take longer than expected as well. So if you need to move by a specific date, maybe because your lease is ending or you're relocating for a job, new construction introduces a lot of uncertainty into your life. You might end up needing temporary housing or paying for overlapping rent and mortgage for a few months, and that eats into any financial benefit you thought you were getting. The second issue is cost, both upfront and ongoing. New construction in Southwest Florida typically comes with a premium. Builders know they're offering something desirable and they price accordingly. But beyond the purchase price, many of these new communities have higher HOA fees than you'll find in established neighborhoods. We're talking about $200 to $400 a month, and in some cases, even higher, because these communities are maintaining brand new amenities like resort-style pools, fitness centers, and sometimes even kayak launches or dog parks. Those amenities are wonderful if you use them regularly, but if you're someone who just wants a house and a yard, essentially subsidizing facilities you might visit twice a year. Let me give you a real example from right here in Southwest Florida. There's a community called Bangkok Ranch, which is an incredible, forward-thinking development northeast of Fort Myers. It's Florida's first solar-powered town, and the homes are beautiful and efficient. But when you buy there, you're also buying into a Pacific lifestyle with higher fees and a location that's about 30 to 40 minutes from the beach and 25 minutes from the heart of Fort Myers. You're trading proximity for newness. And that brings me to the third drawback, location. Most new construction in Southwest Florida is happening further inland because that's where developable land still exists. The area is close to the coast, near the beaches, near downtown Cape Coral or Fort Myers, near the good schools. Those are largely built out already. So when you buy new, you're often accepting a longer commute to work, to the beach, to shopping, to the places you probably moved to Florida to be near. Over time, as these areas develop and mature, that trade-off might become less significant. But in 2025, it's something you really need to factor into your daily quality of life. Now, let's flip the script and talk about resale homes, because there are some generally compelling reasons to consider what's already out there, especially in the current Southwest Florida market. The biggest advantage of resale is location. When you're shopping for a resale home, you have access to neighborhoods that were established 20, 30, even 40 years ago. That means you can live in areas like Cape Coral's Yacht Club, or near the beaches of Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel, or in downtown Fort Myers, or in neighborhoods that are walking distance to top-rated schools. You're not pioneering a new area and hoping it develops the way the market material promises. You already know what the neighborhood is like because it's been there for for years. And here's something people underestimate until they actually live in it. Mature landscaping makes a huge difference. When you move into a new construction home, your yard is basically dirt and sod. Your house sits in the sun with no shade. It takes years, sometimes a decade, for trees to grow large enough to provide row coverage and for the neighborhood to feel established and lush. In a resale home, you're inheriting someone else's 20-year-old mango tree, the mature palms, and their established garden beds. That's not just aesthetic, it means a cooler yard, more privacy, and a sense that the neighborhood has character and history. The second major benefit is move-in readiness. When you find a resale home you love, you can often close in 30 to 45 days. There's no waiting period, no construction delays, and no wondering if your home will be ready in time. You can make an offer, get a home inspection, secure your financing, and move right in. If you're relocating for work or your kids are starting school in August, that timeline certainty is incredibly valuable. And here's where the current market really tips in favor of resale: negotiation flexibility. Unlike new construction, where the builder controls the price and rarely budges, resale sellers are real people with real motivations. Maybe they already bought another home and they need to close quickly. Maybe they had their home on the market for 60 days and are getting anxious. Maybe they're relocating out of the state and just want to move on. This creates opportunities for you as the buyer to negotiate on price, closing cost credits, and whether the seller wants to replace the AC unit or the roof before closing. Builders almost never do that. They have the price sheet and that's the price. But with resale, everything is on the table if you're willing to have the conversation. But resale isn't a perfect solution either, and you need to go into it with your eyes open about what you're inheriting. The most obvious issue is maintenance and repairs. When you buy a resale home, especially one that's 15 or 20 years old, you're buying someone else's deferred maintenance. Maybe the air conditioning system is original and running on borrowed time. Maybe the water heater is 12 years old and should have been replaced 3 years ago. Maybe the roof looks fine from the ground, but a home inspector finds that it's got 5 years left maximum. Those are expensive surprises waiting to happen, and unlike with new construction, you don't have a warranty to fall back on. This is why a thorough home inspection is absolutely non-negotiable with resale properties. You need to know what you're walking into, and even then, you should budget an extra $5,000 to $10,000 in your first year for unexpected repairs and updates, because something will need attention. The second drawback is that you're working within existing constraints. If the home has 3 bedrooms but you really wanted 4, you can't just move a wall without a significant renovation. If the kitchen layout doesn't work for how you cook, you're either living with it or you're spending $30,000 to $50,000 to remodel it. If you hate the towels in the bathrooms or the carpet in the bedrooms, that's another project and another expense. With new construction, you make those choices from the beginning. With resale, you're retrofitting someone else's vision to match yours. And finally, there's the HOA and community amenity question. Some older neighborhoods in Southwest Florida don't have HOAs at all, which is great if you want maximum freedom and lower fees. But that also means no community pool, no clubhouse, and no maintained common area. You're on your own for entertainment and socializing. Other older communities do have HOAs, but the amenities might feel dated compared to what new construction offers. And special assessments can pop up if the community needs major repairs, like repaving roads or replacing a pool. Alright, let's pause for a second and pull all of this side by side so you can see how these two options actually compare on the factors that matter most. First, closing timeline. New construction 6 to 12 months from contract to move-in. Resale 30 to 45 days. If time matters to you, resale wins decisively here. Second, appreciation potential. This one's interesting because it depends on the area. New construction in developing areas might appreciate faster if the community becomes desirable and surrounding infrastructure improves. But resale homes in established, sought-after locations tend to hold value more reliably because the location itself is proven. There's no universal answer here. It really depends on a specific property. Now, who does each option make sense for? If you're a first-time home buyer who wants everything to be perfect and new, who values warranties and low maintenance, and you have the flexibility to wait, new construction might be your sweet spot. If you're an investor looking for cash flow and appreciation, you're probably going to prefer resale because you can negotiate a better entry price and rent it out immediately. If you're a retiree or someone downsizing, resale in an established neighborhood might give you the lifestyle and location you want without the wait and without paying a premium for amenities you won't use. So here's the bottom line, and I want to be really clear about this. There's no universally better option between new construction and resale in Southwest Florida in 2025. Anyone who tells you otherwise is oversimplifying. What matters is understanding your priorities. If customization, energy efficiency, and low maintenance are at the top of your list, and you have the time and budget to wait and pay a bit more, new construction is a fantastic choice. But if your location, move-in readiness, and negotiation flexibility matter more to you, and you're comfortable taking on some potential repair costs, resale is going to serve you better. The beautiful thing about the Southwest Florida market right now is that you actually have both options available to you. We're not in a market where everything sells to 24 hours anymore. You can take your time, visit different communities, tour resale homes, compare your options, and make a decision that actually fits your life instead of feeling rushed into something because of market pressure. So here's what I want to know from you. If you're buying in Southwest Florida today, which would you choose and why? Are you team new construction or team resale? Drop a comment below and let me know your reasoning. I read every single comment and I love to hear different perspectives from people who are actually in the market right now or who have been through this decision recently. And if you found this breakdown helpful, Make sure you subscribe to the channel because next week we're diving into another topic from our Southwest Florida top list playlist. We're going to count down the 5 most underrated neighborhoods in Southwest Florida that offer incredible value but somehow stay under the radar. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.